Hey, what's happening? Tim with Nomad Trading. Oh my gosh, guys. It's been forever. I know. It's been forever. I apologize. I have not been making stock market videos lately. It's been a while. I am terribly sorry for that. I need to get back in the swing of it. I have no excuse. I've just been lazy. I've been focused on trading, actually trading, and I that's what I really love. I love trading. I also enjoy helping people, and doing the YouTube thing is fun too. But I kind of got where I just didn't have anything to say. Um, Ran out of things to talk about. I'm sure, to those of you watching the videos, you haven't watched them all. So to you guys, I'm not out of things to say. But to me, I think I've made over 100 videos or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. But it just felt like I'd kind of covered everything and was just kind of going through the motions, making live videos, recap of the market. So I just kind of stepped away from it, stopped doing it. But anyway, back at it today. Kind of wanted to get back into the swing of things and talk about the market. So hopefully we'll get some people joining in here in the live chat here. And if you are, hit that like button if you don't mind and say what's up in the chat. Talk about what you traded today. Maybe we can get some kind of Discord situation happening here. We can talk about what was moving. We got Tesla earnings. That was big news today. After hours, they reported their earnings. Blew everything out of the water, and yet the stock dropped. So, that's one of the frustrating things about trading the stock market. A lot of times when you think, hey, they had good earnings, it was solid, it's going to go to the moon, and the stock drops. You see it a lot with biotechs too. If you're new to trading and you haven't noticed yet, you see that a lot with biotechs. Sometimes they'll get really good news, stuff that you think would make the stock fly, and it will just plummet, and then you'll be trying to buy the dip, and it's not just a dip. It just keeps dipping and dipping and dipping. Can't tell you how many times I've done that when I was first getting started, because I'm like, man, FDA approval, or whatever, some phase 2B great trial data. It's going to go up, and then it dips. I'm buying the dip, but then it doesn't stop dipping, and it goes forever down. Anyway, it can be a frustrating game trading the stock market. So anyway, we'll talk about some of the hot stocks that were moving today. Maybe we'll get some people here in the chat. Like I said, kind of give it here a minute, ramble for a minute here, and give people a chance to jump in and say what's up and tell me what you traded today, if anything. I've kind of missed you guys. That's what I wanted to jump in here, because I miss talking to some of my regulars and some of you guys that kind of joined the live stream when for a while there I was live streaming after the market closed almost every day, and had some people that were in there almost every day. Miss you guys. Miss talking to everybody and kind of seeing what you guys have to say. I've also been dabbling a little bit, buying a little bit of crypto here and there. So kind of getting my feet wet with that. Safe Moon, anybody watching this got some Safe Moon? I hope we get some people joining in here. The thing about YouTube is, it's been a long time since I posted a video. Not a long time, but probably 3 weeks or a month. I don't know. It's been quite a while. And then YouTube doesn't really push your videos as much or push your stuff out as much. They punish you, put you in timeout. So we may not get very many people joining in here. because of that. But anyway, I need to get back in the swing of things and start making some more videos. So what I really need is ideas for content. If anybody is watching this now or later on, put in the comments some things that you want to see videos about. Because to you guys, to people that are new to trading that are watching these videos, it all seems new, and it seems like a new video that I'm putting out. But to me, or anybody who makes the videos, when you get 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 videos in live streams and things out there, you kind of feel like you're just saying the same thing over and over again, and it gets redundant, and you feel like, is anybody even listening to this? I've said the same stuff, a million times. So you just kind of feel like you've said it all. It's a challenge, especially with this. Some of the YouTubers, like the Mr. Beasts of the world, they get crazy creativity going, and they got a team of people and a team of editors and a team of people coming up with all these new ideas and all that stuff. And you can literally make videos about anything in that when you're in that genre. But then if you're in like the stock trading world, there's only so many things you can make videos about. I mean, of course, there's a lot of topics, but I'm just saying it's a little bit more narrow. So there's only so many times I can talk about bull pennants and bull flags and flat top breakouts and shorten the first red day, all kinds of different things. But you can only talk about them so many times before it feels like you're just repeating yourself over and over and over again. So I need some new ideas. So anybody watching this has some ideas, hit me up in the comments, shoot me an email, whatever. I have been still doing the consulting thing. I've got I know there's somebody emailed me that I have not got back to. I apologize for that if you happen to be the one watching this that I have not got back to about doing a little educational Zoom consulting thing. For those of you watching this that don't know, I for $50 an hour, I will do a Zoom one-on-one with you and share my screen, and we can talk about anything and everything that you want to talk about. The reason for that being, not that I'm some amazing trader, because I am not some amazing trader, but I remember when I first got started way back when in the very, very beginning stages, and I didn't even know how to place a trade or set up my platform or what different types of stops were, all that kind of stuff. That this just looks like gibberish when you're first starting out. So I thought, I remember being in that situation, and I remember thinking, man, if there was just somebody I could just spend like an hour with that could just show me how to actually place trades and just a couple of different things to look for and how to place trades after hours and pre-market, all that kind of stuff that you just don't know. It's very elementary once you've been doing it a while, but when you're first starting out, you don't even know how to do some of those basic things. So anyway, I thought I would just offer myself up to that, and it's been kind of hot. I've done quite a few of them, so it's mainly geared towards, like I said, very beginning traders. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm some multi-millionaire trader, because I'm not. So I'm not going to do stock picks or things like that. But what I can do is help you get to a point where you can actually trade and cut that learning curve way down. You can learn. I've had several people that I've done consultations with that have said, I learned so much more in that 1 hour of just being able to ask questions and go over what I needed answered than I did watching hours and hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos and trying to search out for those little things, that I'm missing. So anyway, it's a pretty good way to cut to the chase and get people actually started in trading. So if you're interested in that, you can email me at nomadtradinglife@gmail.com. I'll put that in the chat over here. And like I said, it's I do it for $50 an hour just to make it worth my while, because I'll do it pretty much anytime somebody wants to do it, weekends, nights, late at night, whatever, because I know that most people that are just getting started trading also have regular jobs, and the whole idea is to get away from their job and to learn how to trade. So I know that people's schedules are tight, so it's hard to work around that. So that being said, I can pretty much do it about any time. We can work something out. Anyway, enough about that. I just think it's a good service, because you'd never be able to do that with Ross or Tim Grittani or Tim Sykes or any of the people that make a ton of money trading. You have to pay a lot of money, and you can join their challenges, or you can be in their chats and all that kind of stuff. But you don't get one-on-one time where you can just sit there and ask them questions and figure things out like you can with somebody like me who's not making millions of dollars. So I'm just a middle of the road guy here that can help you cut your learning curve way down if you're starting out. So anyway, enough rambling about that. RVPH was moving today, still is kind of moving. It actually looked like it was going to curl here after hours. I almost bought a small position thinking it might curl up, but now it's selling off in the final moments here. So yeah, kind of glad I did not do that. We'll see what it does tomorrow. It could still move tomorrow. It did have a decent catalyst. Experimental schizophrenia drug meets endpoint in phase 2 clinical trial. So that was good, and it's got decent volume. Got 85 million shares traded. So there's some positive things with it. The chart on the daily down here, not so good, as far as we're coming into this big area of consolidation that could act as resistance, and of course that's where we topped out. Those of whenever people try to tell you that there is no rhyme or reason to trading, you can't trade patterns and all that kind of stuff, it's not true, because you can look like right here, just off the top of my head here, you can tell that the stock right now, this is today, and where does it top out at? It's right now topped out right at the bottom of this candle here and this one here. So there is a little bit of predictability to the stock market, and there are some probabilities and things, and you just have to learn to capitalize on that. Anyway, so that's kind of RVPH. That was a big mover today. If we zoom, I like to look at the 5-minute chart myself. I like to have a 1 minute, a 5 minute, and the daily. That's pretty much what I trade off of. Looks like we got a few people here watching. Cool. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Anybody that's watching this, I would greatly appreciate it. Not trying to beg for likes, but the likes do get the YouTube algorithm kind of showing it to more people, and then maybe we can get some Discord going on over here in the chat, and then it's a lot more fun when we can get people talking about what they traded and some stuff that they're watching, and everybody can play off each other's ideas. I've found stock plays off of people that have put stuff in the box over here before, and I'm sure you guys have too, and works out pretty good. Anyway, so it's a lot more fun if we get some people chatting. Let's see what else we have here. Tesla I wanted to look at for sure because they had their earnings. I'm a little bit shocked that it dropped. I do own some of Tesla, the daily chart down here. I'll kind of explain that here in a moment, but if you look at down here, we have the news. Let me just so Tesla posts record earnings at start of turbulent year. So if you look at all the different headlines here, so well, actually, that's interesting. I hadn't seen that one yet. Sold some Bitcoin. So they sold some of their Bitcoin. That's interesting. I'll have to read into that because I did not know. That seems a little odd that they invested all that money in Bitcoin and then already sold some. Kind of surprises me. Let's see. Musk and Kirkhorn talked about a number of issues ranging from Tesla's recent media coverage to Bitcoin to current production challenges. I'm not going to read all this because you guys can read it yourselves. But anyway, I just find that interesting. I didn't know that they sold some of their Bitcoin. That's kind of weird, I think. Let's see. Anyway, the headlines here. Beats by 20, beats on revs, and their automotive gross margin up 240 from quarter four due to lower costs. Expects average annual growth in vehicle deliveries above 50% this year. It just seems like pretty much everything with the earnings was great. I mean, solid, and it's not like we were super, it didn't really get bought way up. The hype wasn't crazy leading into earnings to where we were way overbought, I didn't think. So I'm kind of surprised that it sold off a little bit. I kind of expected it would head up pretty strongly considering the earnings. Anytime you beat on earnings and you beat on revs and everything's looking good, typically you would see that go up unless it was already priced in and way overbought. But yeah, not the case here. So anyway, let's see what else. What were the other headlines here? Net cash outflow related to Bitcoin, 1.2 billion. Automotive revenue, 9 billion. So yeah, really, I didn't see anything negative out of that, and yet it dropped. So you never know. Stock market is funny like that. Everything can be solid, and the stock drops. Not a big drop. I mean, it's not that big a deal for considering how volatile Tesla can be, dropping from the 730s down to basically 720. Not that big of a drop, but anyway. Thank you for whoever hit the like. I appreciate that. You are awesome. If I go long enough in here and I ramble, I know I'm rambling a bit, but the thing is with the YouTube Live, if you ramble a bit and just keep this going a little while, YouTube kind of starts showing it to people. If you notice, there's a lot of people that stream the entire day of the stock market, and they get quite a few views because YouTube rewards them for streaming for like 5 hours straight or 8 hours straight. So anyway, maybe we'll get some people in here. YouTube will start pushing it out. Then we'll get going and get some chatting. What else was I gonna say? Let's see. Today, for me, anyway. Let me see. Let me move out of this on my other screen here. Bear with me. So, where is my thing here? There we go. So for me today, I realized $377 and some change. So basically $378 was my profit for the day. Nothing too spectacular, but a solid day. Anytime I can make $300 in a day, I'm more than happy with that. My goal is to consistently make $100 a day. So if I can make $300 or $400 in a day, I'm very happy with that. I traded SRNE and Tesla in that CMEG account, and then over here you can see this is my E-Trade account where I made the $277 over here. That was on a variety of different stocks. just small scalps here and there. So on Tesla here, let me get back over on my page here in case. Thank you for that like. Got another like. Cool, cool. So Tesla, my bull case on Tesla anyway. First of all, Tesla is awesome. Everybody knows that. They're kind of the future, the pioneer of electric vehicles, and the front runner by far. But what people don't talk that much about is like their roofing side of things, where they're roofing or roofing. I'm not really sure, however you say that. I'm from Missouri here, so I may say that a little bit funny. But anyway, so like they have their solar panels that are made. They're kind of like a stylish looking normal roof that is actually solar panels. That to me is a huge thing that could end up being just as big as the car side at some point in time. Solar power is something that's kind of in the future as well. And the problem that most people have is that the big ugly panels out in your yard or on your house, they're just, they're terrible. They're ugly. Nobody likes them. So this is kind of like a revolutionary thing. And it's starting to get going. I think they had a deal in Canada where they were expanding it up there in Canada and getting it going up there. Anyway, I think that's going to be a big thing. And then, of course, they invested in Bitcoin, and they just have a lot going on other than just the cars. And in my opinion, they're going to be well over $1,000 a share by the end of the year. That's my personal opinion. We'll see. But as far as the chart goes, what I have here is a trend line. Let me just actually I got it bigger on this screen over here. Anybody that's interested, I can't. Let's see, where is it? There we go. So yeah, we kind of have. It's kind of been following this trend. Let me just extend this out a bit. And we don't need that there. So anyway, it's been following this uptrend, nice steady uptrend. Every time it kind of comes close to that line, it will hold it and bounce off of it. And then it gets overextended, pulls all the way back down, again bounces off that same line, a little bit extended, comes down, bounces again. Now what we have is we've kind of curled up, and it's almost forming a little bit of a, you could kind of call it a cup and handle, not really, but a little bit, or you could kind of say it's a little bit of a bull flag, the way that you have kind of your pole here and then your flag. But regardless, however you slice it, it's looking pretty bullish right now to me. If it starts coming down and getting back down below this 50 moving average, this dark blue line here, and coming back down and maybe breaking below this level of support here at 668 or so, then maybe not as much. Then it may take longer, and we may be waiting to see how it reacts to that trend line again. But as of now, it's looking pretty good. Like in my opinion, it's curled up, it's kind of consolidating, and then I think it's going to continue to curl and head up. Now, we will see what happens tomorrow, since the earnings were good, but the stock dropped a little bit. Anything can happen. And, of course, 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. So, with the market being pretty dang hyped up, if you ask me. I mean, look at this. This is the S&P 500 ETF SPY. So look at this run we're making here. I mean, it's just all-time high after all-time high. And again today, here we are way up here at the peak. RSI's looking pretty overbought, and the chart in general looking pretty overbought. If you zoom out, let's see here, this is the pandemic here. We recovered all that, even though everything's not fully open and we're still in the situation we're in. but yet we recovered all that, and we're making all-time high after all-time high. This whole nice bull run here, which is great, but it just makes me a little bit nervous because to me it could pull back. We could see a fairly substantial pullback at any point in time, and then it might ruin my Tesla chart, my Tesla plan, or any other long-term hold that I have, because like I said, roughly 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. So if the market starts pulling back pretty hard, a lot of times it will ruin your setups on other stocks, unfortunately. But as of now, I like what we're seeing here with Tesla. I'd like to see it continue to consolidate right here and then start heading up. And then hopefully once we break this somewhere around, let's see, 782. What was the high of this right here? 780.79. Once we get past that, I could definitely see it heading back and making new all-time highs. That's what I'm looking for. So it's kind of a longer-term play for me. Many of you probably hold it too. It seems like everybody and their brother holds Tesla. So anyway, it's kind of my darling stock. I love it. I love the volatility of it. I trade it all the time, to the long and short side. It's just a good stock to hold, good stock to trade. Love it. Dave, what's up, Dave? Finally got somebody to say what's up in the chat. It's awesome. I appreciate that. It's been a long time. I've kind of been missing my trading family here, so hopefully we get some more people over here in the chat and we can talk a little bit about what's been going on in the market. Let's see what else has been moving. What else has been going on? OCGN. This is one that I traded. My little brother and a couple of friends of mine, we kind of all held this at one point. I ended up selling it down here when it broke below support. So this thing's been kind of trailing off, right? It got the huge volume days over here, went to the absolute moon. Mind you, this stock was 30 cents back here. Yeah, in December it was like 30 cents. And it got all the way to, what's the high here? 1877. So from 30 cents to almost $19 in a matter of a few months there. And then since then, it's just been kind of fading, popping and fading, popping and fading. And I told myself, I was buying it in here thinking that with this consolidation, it was going to make this move and end up heading up again. I thought it might squeeze some shorts, head back up. There's supposed to be some news coming out with it. And anyway, what it ended up doing was going lower. And I just had to, my mental stop was this area right here where right around $5.85, $6, the top of this candle, bottom of this wick here, bottom of this wick. I kind of figured if it went below that, we might end up seeing it way back down here in the 3s or 4s, and I wasn't trying to hold that. So I ended up cutting it, and then, of course, what's it do? It curls and rips like a couple days after that. So that was unfortunate. Would have made a lot more money on that had I not had that happen, but I was able to scalp it. I bought let's see, a couple of different times I bought dips on it that played out pretty well. So anytime you get a stock like that that's up quite a bit and it's got a ton of volume, like this one was trading hundreds of millions of shares of volume, I believe, in some of these areas. So if you get that scenario where it's up big and you got a ton of volume and it sells off big, you can almost bet that there's going to be a bounce. It's just about timing it. So I know that I I bought the dip right here to VWAP, which was little bitty, but I bought that one. It worked out nicely. I bought this crash right here, and I timed it perfectly. I bought it almost exactly at the bottom, and then sold it in here. Now, of course, it kept going, so that didn't work out as well as I'd hoped, but still, made some good money on it. And then here was the offering. They had an offering, crashed it pretty good, but the offering was priced at $10 a share, which was kind of seen as somewhat bullish because the stock, like I said, it was 30 cents a few months back. So the secondary offering coming in at $10 a share was somewhat more bullish than most secondary offerings would be. So it's held up nicely. Ended up going back over 12 and still in the 11s. We'll see what happens tomorrow with it. Anyway, it's just another one that was interesting that I've been watching and kind of trading here and there. Been studying futures, Dave. Cool. How's that going? Weird. I'm getting some weird stuff from YouTube here. It's like cutting out and getting rid of my data. Awesome. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Anyway, how's the futures going? Micro E-minis. I know nothing about futures. I did at one point. I was interested in it, but I didn't really study it enough to comprehend it or get anywhere with it. How about you? Been having any luck with it? Some people swear by futures. Most people tell me all the time that I need to be trading options and not stocks, which is another thing that I have not mastered either. Lots to learn. Starting live classes in a couple weeks. That's awesome. Cool. What classes are you doing? Who are you taking classes with? Anyway, let's see. While Dave responds here, Torch was another one. Big, fade all the way down, kind of coming alive the last couple of days, but not too exciting. I have not traded that one. Just kind of watching it because it started moving again. Let's see what we had here. We talked about Tesla, RVPH. I briefly touched on that. That one will be one I'll be watching tomorrow. See what happens with it. Trades by Matt in the mornings at 9:30. Okay, cool. What else did we have? Let's see. We had, GME was running again. We got to talk about GME, of course, because GME was running today again. Nothing compared, if you look down here on the daily chart, nothing compared to like some of the other days, but it's still a big move, going from around 150 to basically 200. Did it hit 200? Not quite, but still, that's almost a $50 move. That's a pretty good move, especially this right here where it kind of took off and went from 169 to almost 200 relatively quickly. I don't know why GME. It's just ludicrous, honestly, that it's that it's up here. It's cool that they're sticking it to the man and all that, but it's so crazy that GameStop would be a $185 stock. Just craziness. But it's cool. I think it's made a lot of people rich. It's probably also made a lot of people poor, because anytime you get a move like this, I remember whenever this move down here was happening and people were saying it was going to 2,000. There's still people saying that it's going to 2,000 dollars a share, $1,000 a share, $2,000 a share. I don't see it, but you never know. I also would not have guessed it would go to $500 or $600 a share. So I guess you really never know, but it just doesn't seem possible for that to happen. Especially considering that the suits, as we call them, they manipulate it and turn trading off on it. That and Doge and anything that really starts getting crazy, they just limit people's ability to buy and sell it, which to me is super crooked, but somehow they're doing it and getting away with it. I think it was just happening again the other day. Somebody said with maybe it was Doge, and I don't know if it was what broker it was, but criminal, I tell ya. Classes will be with Mbox Wave. Check it out on the internet and YouTube. Yeah, trades with Matt is on YouTube. He trades live, makes a lot of money. Awesome. A lot of times I don't. A lot of times people will tell me a name like that, and then whenever I go and search it out, I've already been watching them. I just don't remember their names. So that kind of rings a bell. I feel like maybe that might be a guy that I've watched here and there on YouTube. I still watch other people's YouTube trading videos quite regularly. People can help each other out. I like getting ideas from other people. So I'll be watching somebody else's YouTube video or them live trading and stuff, and a lot of times they'll see things that I don't see, and I'll put stuff in the chats and try to point out things that I see that maybe they don't see. It's a community, the retail community. We are strong. Unfortunately, not as strong as the suits, but we're strong. Let's see, what else was moving? AMC, I think, was maybe moving again. Was that moving? Seems like I saw that on the scanners today. Yeah. So that one, pretty nice steady climb right there until it eventually kind of failed into close, but holding up fairly well. This is probably some type of a misprint, this 1060 situation here. Sometimes if you refresh it, it goes away, but apparently not. But no, I'm sure that there probably was not a trade that went through down here at 1060, $1 below where it was trading. It did close fairly strong though, kind of curling up at the end of after hours. So that might be one to watch tomorrow. Let's see, we got a level of possible resistance somewhere around that $11 range. So I'll have to kind of watch that. No, actually no, because we're already above that. That's just this silly little misprint there. So we should be above that. So yeah, it could be one to watch tomorrow. I need to watch that a little closer tomorrow. See what happens. Muhammad, what's up, Muhammad? Question: is E-Trade considered direct market access? As in, if I switch the destination, yeah, they're a direct access broker. And yes, you can switch the destination and go directly to ARCA or whatever the ARCA, IEX, NASDAQ. Yeah, there's different. You can change the destination and go direct through that route. I don't, but you can. I pretty much just use the auto. If that helps. Why are you thinking about switching to E-Trade or using E-Trade? Out of curiosity. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is more fees. I just don't. I don't know how much it is on. Honestly, I don't really pay attention to the fees that much on E-Trade because they don't seem to really ever add up enough to affect me that much. On CMEG, now that's a different story. The fees over there are just add up like crazy. But with E-Trade, I never notice them being too terrible. They have the free commissions, and then the ECN fees are not that bad. It doesn't really, to me, add up that much unless you were doing some kind of high frequency trading. Already using it but having issues with it getting filled. Yeah, I was actually I was actually gonna say if you're thinking about switching to E-Trade, don't do it. As much as I've got a lot of videos about E-Trade, and once upon a time, I was a big fan of E-Trade. Really liked them, and I still like the platform as far as charting, and it feels like home to me because it's where I started trading, and mainly the charting. I just like the charting. I like the classic charting, which is what this is. Kind of just what I'm used to. So it's what I like as far as charting. But as far as the broker goes, honestly, they suck now. They just suck. Let me catch up here on what's being said here. Check that True Trading group on YouTube live every evening. I have not. Well, I don't know. That sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out. It does sound familiar, but I don't know. Um, exactly the scanner. So their E-Trade, like I said, once upon a time, I was a big fan of E-Trade. Okay, now I've gone round and round with E-Trade. E-Trade has literally cost me, I forget what it is now. I said it in one of probably my last live stream or last video, whenever that was. I said the amount. I can't remember what it was, but it was hundreds of dollars. They literally cost me hundreds of dollars because of their terrible executions and their platform being glitchy, as I call it, glitchy. Hundreds of dollars, like $400 or $500 or something like that in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks. Because, and I'm sure that I've talked to other people and they've experienced it, and even E-Trade themselves, when I talk to customer service, who of course would not reimburse me the money, or they don't really care. I'm just a little small fish. They don't care about losing my hundreds of dollars, so they wouldn't reimburse me or whatever. But just because of their platform, that's the sole reason why. I would click, and they even confirmed, like I said, they confirmed that they were having issues with their platform, so they admitted it, that they've been getting complaints about it, that they were aware of it, they were working on it. So you got basically what would happen to me anyway, and I run CMEG side by side with E-Trade. So it was not a connectivity issue with my Wi-Fi. It wasn't anything like that. It was E-Trade's platform. And I would click buy, and it would just sit there and sit there. And I'm talking, I'm trying to buy on the ask or using a market order, things that should be filled like that. And with CMEG side by side, I could get filled in, literally a split second, a fraction of a second. Boom, I'm in the stock. E-Trade, I would click it, and it would just sit there, and it wouldn't fill it. And then literally like 30 seconds would pass, sometimes even a minute. Then the stock's going against me, but I'm not filled yet. So then I'm trying to cancel it. I'm like, now that you didn't fill me, and it's going against me, so I just want to go ahead and get out of it. So then I'd try to cancel it, and it wouldn't cancel it fast enough, and then I would end up looking up and seeing that it did fill me at some point, but at a higher price. So then, and then then you're panicking because the stock's dropping, and you got filled at this higher price. You didn't even know that you got filled, and then when you're clicking trying to sell and get out, what would happen to me anyway? I'd click to sell, and then it would come up and give me this message that says that I need to check the number of shares that I have, basically saying that I don't have those shares, even though I can look, and see in my order status that the order was filled, and I can see in my positions that the shares are right there, but then it's telling me that I need to check the number of shares I have, and so it wouldn't let me sell them. So then by the time I, go through all that and actually get out of the position, I lost hundreds of dollars, and it happened not once or twice, but like 3 or 4 times in a matter of only a few weeks. Mainly around the opening bell, whenever there's a whole bunch of volume going through. And that's just unacceptable. So I was this close to moving my money and getting away from E-Trade, and I probably will at some point. It's just a pain in the butt. Everybody that has opened up different brokerage accounts and stuff knows that it's a pain in the butt to open another account and move your money around and go through that process and get verified, blah blah blah. It just sucks. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even be using E-Trade, because they got rid of the scanner and they screwed me out of hundreds of dollars with their crappy platform. But I will say, the last couple of weeks, it's been better. I haven't had that happen the last couple of weeks, so we'll see. But let's see. Let me catch up here. What's up, Mr. X? Long time no see, buddy. I've been slacking. I've just been trading and doing my thing and not been doing the YouTube thing. And I apologize for that. I need to, like I said earlier in this live stream, I just feel like I'm beating a dead horse, because when you're on this end, when you're on the watching end, you don't necessarily feel that way. But when you're on the creating side of things, you feel like you've said the same thing 1,000 times and that you've covered everything, and that I have trouble coming up with new things to make videos about that don't feel redundant. So then I just I haven't had much to say, I guess. But anyway, just to wrap up the E-Trade thing, it's been getting a little bit better the last couple of weeks, but overall they're just not very good as far as like what I want to do. Scalping and getting in and out is just not very good with E-Trade. And I did find that turning the preview off made a difference. It's still, you'll have glitches and lag here and there, and you still have some issues, but not as much with the preview off. So that was part of the problem. The preview, if you click to buy something, it'll bring up the little screen where you're previewing how much you're paying, how many shares you're getting, blah blah blah. And that screen would just sit there and kind of glitch out and not kind of get like the little busy thing. I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, that was part of the glitch. I think I turned that off. Now that I have the preview off, it seems like I get better executions and less glitching on it. But anyway, so yeah, screw E-Trade. They didn't give me my money back. They literally cost me hundreds of dollars with their crappy platform, and they got rid of the scanner. So eventually I'll probably switch brokers. I just haven't felt like going through all the bullshit to do it. Anyway, let's see. Muhammad says you're literally describing exactly what's happening to me as well. Exactly. Only once it worked in my favor on Tesla trade. Price ended really going in my favor. Yeah, exactly. And it never seems to go in my favor. It's always the opposite. I've never been lucky enough to like, oh, hey, it glitched out and I Well, that's okay. It went up, and now I made an extra couple $100. It never works that way for me. It's always going against me, and I'm desperately trying to cancel it and trying to get out of it. It's dropping, and I'm sitting there, you know, swearing at my computer and calling customer service and going off on them like, seriously, you're literally costing me hundreds of dollars. How is this okay? But they don't care. Maybe if I had millions of dollars, they would care, but they definitely don't care about my measly little 30 grand accounts. Da, 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 da. Yes, okay for the last few weeks. So you've kind of had the similar experience the last couple of weeks. That's good to know. Maybe they finally got it figured out. I do have a second account, which is in Webull. I've been saying this forever, but I'm gonna have a Webull account. It gets so. I just got done doing my taxes. I do all my own taxes. Stuff starts getting really complicated when you have, I've got E-Trade, CMEG, Acorns, a Roth IRA. I've got Coinbase, and all these different brokers and different things with money in them and doing different trades, and yeah, it gets pretty complicated keeping track of all that stuff. So I don't know. I don't want to get too many more brokers, but I think I'm going to try Webull just because everybody seems to like Webull, and it's easy and quick and just kind of like a thing that I can use my phone and make some trades here and there on just to try it out. Oh, let's see. Try Thinkorswim. Mr. X says yes. Well, I hear lots of good things about Thinkorswim. It seems like that's probably the one that I hear the most often that people like is TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. So thank you guys for hitting the like button, by the way. I see I got 4 likes up there. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Let's see. Hey, I've been using this indicator last couple of weeks. Still need more testing, but so far it's been really helpful. CCI set on 8 period, on 2 minute and 5 minute. Interesting. Helpful for my scalping. E-Trade, Webull for selling. I'm calling Coinbase. So, what is it CCI set on 8 period on 2 minute and 5 minute? What is that? Describe CCI. Is this something that I am just not comprehending? Oh, the Commodity Channel Index? Is that it? That's a CCI. The only problem that I have sometimes with Thinkorswim is at the opening bell. Actually, 6 period for 2 minutes. The bad thing about E-Trade is that community channel something. Is it what I just said right here? Is it this right here? Commodity Channel Index? Okay. Interesting. I have never really used that, so. Commodity Channel Index. I'll have to check that out. Watch a YouTube video about it or something. I haven't tried that one, I don't think. It's a much more reactive RSI in a way. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say it looks like RSI. I use RSI here and there for not really like as a end all be all to make a trade, but I do use it for reference. Like if I'm kind of questioning, is this about done? Is it going to pull back? Am I chasing or not? And I'll kind of use that as like just a way of helping to gauge whether or not I'm chasing something if it's up quite a bit. I'll definitely check that out. Oh, and back to Mr. X as far as the opening bell. The sad thing is with E-Trade, it's to the point where with E-Trade where I won't even. It actually affects the trades that I will take because of knowing that their platform is so glitchy. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I feel like an idiot because I need to definitely change brokers. If that's the case, I need to change brokers. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm realizing that. But because there's a lot of times where I'm like, hey, this stock's moving at the open. I'll see a stock that's about to break past the pre-market high, which a lot of times that's a play that I'll take. If a stock, if you got a catalyst and you got the volume and it's up decent pre-market, pulls back a little bit, then the opening bell rings. If it starts to break the pre-market high, a lot of times I'll go long there and it will work out. And with E-Trade being so glitchy, I don't take those trades a lot of the time because it's at the opening bell. And I know that there's at least a chance that it's going to glitch out and I'm going to get stuck on the wrong side of this thing and not be able to get out. And if I do take the trade, I take smaller size than I would like because of that fear. So, now that I'm talking about it, I'm realizing that's stupid, Tim. I need to just get rid of E-Trade and cut the cord. It's kind of like, like I said, I kind of grew up with it. I've been doing it with E-Trade the last 6 years or whatever, and it's what I started on, and I love the charting. It's just hard to get away from what you're used to, but it really doesn't make sense to keep using a broker that I'm scared to take trades on. Anyway, let's see what's ran into. Kind of reading, getting caught up here, getting caught up. Yeah, no opening bell trades exactly. I mean, it just I shouldn't even be really using them. If I'm gonna take a trade at the opening bell, and that's why I like having CMEG, having another broker is because of that. If I see a play and I want to take it, and it's anytime near the opening bell and there's lots of volume in it, I don't bother with E-Trade. I'll just do it in CMEG instead. So, yeah, but that's sad. Shouldn't use a broker. That I've kind of been using the E-Trade because of how glitchy it is. I use it more as swing trading. I'm trying to get better at swing trading. Historically, I suck at swing trading, so that's something that I've been personally working on. I feel like I've kind of started to get a decent handle on scalping, so now I'm trying to get better at swing trading, and so I use the E-Trade for that more because it's not as important if I get a perfect execution, or can't get in and out. So far with E-Trade, I've been taking trades right before market open. Yep, that works, but I'm scared to hold through market open a lot of time myself. The market open, to me anyway, sometimes it's really scary to hold through that. It can just go either way. There's been so many times that I'm, sure the stock's ramping up into market open, and I'm just sure that, like, hey, all signs point to this thing's going to break out and fly, and then it tanks on me, or vice versa. So I don't know. It's just so. Typically, I'll wait a couple minutes after market open and let things have that initial shakeout, and then I'll start trading. But sometimes I'll hold through market open. I've actually been holding overnight more often now that I've been trying to master swing trading in this E-Trade account. That was always the scariest thing to me after losing. I've told this story many times on my channel before, but when you lose $10,000 overnight in a single trade, mind you, at that time, even now, I mean, that's a ton of money to me now, but back then it was even more money. And I think it was like, I don't know, the account was probably only maybe a $15,000-$20,000 account or something at the time, and I lost $10,000 overnight, and that made me gun shy to hold overnight. So for the longest time, I haven't held anything overnight, and now I'm just getting to the point where I'm getting into swing trading and feeling more comfortable with it. And I really think the key, just to throw this out there for anybody that watches this at some point in time and is brand new to trading, one of the keys, in my opinion, to being a successful trader is sizing down. For me anyway, the emotions, obviously trading is so much an emotional roller coaster, and it's just as much mastering your emotions as it is knowing what the market's going to do and trying to see setups and the technical side of things. It's just as much, if not more, emotion. And for me anyway, I started finding success when I started scaling down, because there's just so many times, and even now when I have losses that are decent sized losses, it's almost always because I took too big a size and didn't calculate my risk reward properly beforehand, and just kind of went in all willy-nilly, like, just oh man, I'm just going to buy 500 shares with my quick button over on CMEG or whatever. I've got the hot buttons like buy 500 ask, stuff like that, where that's when I get in trouble, is when I go over there and I'm like, I'll just click my buy 500 ask and jump in without taking the time to calculate my risk reward, and taking a very small relative position because of the emotions. And everybody wants to make all the money quickly, and so they want to take big size and make that money fast. But most of my biggest wins have been smaller size, and I was just able to let them ride longer because I could actually control my emotions, as opposed to taking bigger size, and then as soon as it starts going the way I want it to, I end up getting out too quick, taking profit too quick, and missing a lot of the move because I'm just emotional. I'm excited seeing that green in there, or I'm scared it's going to turn and go against me, and all the emotions. Whereas if I take a much smaller position, I end up letting it ride and able to control my emotions, which turns into a larger win. And it also makes your losses smaller. So anyway, if you're watching this and you're a brand new trader, and you've been losing a lot of money or having a string of losses and you're feeling pretty down, size back considerably, and you'll be amazed how much it helps you. That's my 2 cents on that. You're right, we need to exit. We do. We really do. Very specific Excel to calculate exactly how much to get. Sure, that'd be cool. Send it over. I'll definitely check it out. nomadtradinglife@gmail.com. So, yeah. Anyway, what else? What else? See, this is what I was hoping for. I like. I'm excited about talking to you guys and gals, and it's been a long time since I been in here and made videos and done the live chat and all that. I've kind of missed talking to people, so need to get back in here and do this more often, because it's always fun to talk to you guys and kind of see what you guys and gals are trading and your strategies and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm not an amazing trader, so I'm always open to new ideas and new theories and different ways to make money. All about becoming a better trader, improving all the time. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see, how's the plumbing going, Mr. X? Mr. X. So, yeah, check this out, Mr. X. I will. I don't know if I can. If you'll be able to see it or not. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. This is. Bear with me. I'm trying to find it here. So yeah, here's how my plumbing went. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Let me see. Hold on. Maybe I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but can you see that? It's I had to dig my yard up. I didn't have to do it myself, but I did do it myself because I'm a go-getter, just give it a shot, So what happened was, Mr. X knows, I had my my plumbing backed up, my basement flooded a couple different times, and then around New Year's I had to have a plumber come snake it out. I tried to snake it out myself, and that didn't work, and I spent a bunch of money renting machines and ended up paying a plumber to snake it out. They got it unclogged, but there was a break in the line. Anyway, I thought if I was lucky, it might make it another year or two, because it was just a slight break where it goes into the main line out there in the yard. And it ended up only making it like maybe 2 months or 3 months or something like that before it was backed up in my basement again. So, yeah, I went and rented a machine and had all the utilities marked and stuff, and dug my sewer up myself. I had help from my ex-wife's brother. He helped me out too. But yeah, we rented a machine, dug a big old hole, and replaced the sewer line and got it working again. So saved probably, I figured I saved at least $2,000 doing it myself, because I got an estimate from one guy, and it was going to be over $2,000 more than what I spent. So save money, do stuff yourself. I didn't really know what I was doing, but it was kind of fun, and got it fixed and saved a bunch of money. I like operating equipment and doing that kind of stuff, so working outside, and it was kind of fun. Other than the actual, being in poop and pee water, and that part not so fun, but the rest of it. Was Tesla a good hold? Tesla dropped, not a lot, but some, considering that their earnings were good. Everything was pretty solid, and the stock dropped because the market's crazy sometimes. So, yeah. This is Tesla right here. So, yeah, earnings, they actually beat by, what was it? Where was it? Oh, they beat by 20 cents. They beat on revenue, and their gross margin is way up. So due to lower costs, and they expect their average annual growth in vehicle deliveries to be above 50% this year. So it was like good news after good news, really good, solid earnings. And yet the stock dropped from the 730s down to about 720 as of now. So doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because I didn't think it was that overbought or that overhyped to where it would be like a sell the news situation. But nevertheless, it did. But it did. It has not broken, in my opinion, it has not broken the chart in any way at this point. To me, it still looks primed to continue up to new all-time highs. So I'm actually holding just a little bit of it. I had some of it, and I sold most of it before earnings because I don't like to hold through earnings, especially a really volatile stock like Tesla, because I wouldn't be shocked if it dropped $100 a share if the earnings were terrible or whatever the case may be. So I just got out of it and kept a very small position in it. So I'm still holding some, but not a lot. And I will keep holding it unless it breaks this line right here, this overall trend line that we got going on here. That's what I'm watching. So if it heads down towards that, I will buy more here and there on the big dips. And then if it breaks that and starts to turn and looks like it's going to break the trend, then I may get out of it. But that's my strategy on it anyway. I also like to day trade Tesla in my CMEG account because it's so volatile. So I like to long and short it, the swings here and there intraday. It's a pretty good day trading stock. Reckon it'll shoot back up soon. I think that as of now anyway, it's not in any real danger so far. I mean, this seems like a pretty decent sized move on the 5-minute chart, but if you look at the daily chart, it's not at all. It's a small move. So I think from here we're gonna see it curl up. Of course, I talked about this earlier in the live stream, but 3 out of 4 stocks roughly follow the market, maybe even a little higher percentage than that follow the market. So considering the market is just nothing but up, makes me a little nervous because I wouldn't be surprised to see a decent sized correction at some point in time. If that happens, it could screw up Tesla's chart along with many other charts. But as of now anyway, I like the setup of Tesla a lot, and I think that it's going to be headed to new all-time highs before the end of the year. So that's my prediction. I'm not going to worry unless it breaks this trend line. If it breaks this trend line, then we might see a more significant pullback. Just have to wait and see. But as of now, I'm not that worried. I think the earnings were solid enough that it bounced right here. I actually bought this and scalped this little bounce here. But I was surprised when it came down. I was gonna actually hold it because I expected it to, with the news that we had with earnings. I thought that this was way overreaction and that it was going to shoot right back up and be right back in the 730s is what I thought, and maybe even higher. So when it started to turn and head down again, I got out of it for a small profit, but yeah, didn't bounce like I thought. I thought it was going to just bounce right back where it was. I'm not really sure why it sold down and then ended up curling back down again, considering, as far as I could tell, the news was pretty much all good. But we'll see. See what happens tomorrow. If we zoom out a bit here, this is 5-minute chart, 14 days. So, not too worried. We could say that it's still consolidating in this range right here. So if it was way down here, I might start getting kind of worried. But as of now, it's kind of consolidating, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if tomorrow it gets back up in the 730s and 740s. But again, Tesla and many of these blue chip stocks heavily depend on the market. So if the market starts having a big pullback day tomorrow, that could also drag Tesla down with it. It has been slow. It's another reason I haven't made very many videos too, is because there's been a lot of days in the last couple of weeks where, I've got my stock scanners and screeners, the certain criteria that I look for with momentum stocks, and there's days where there's literally not any stocks on my screeners, which is crazy. For the longest time it'd be 20 or 30 of them with the same criteria that, I didn't change the criteria, and I'd be trying to figure out which one I wanted to play because there were so many. To go from that to now where it's just, several different days, there's literally nothing on my screener that meets my criteria. So not only is there no setup, but there's not even stocks some days that are meeting the momentum criteria that I'm looking for at all. Pretty crazy. So that's another reason I haven't been making a lot of videos. There's been a lot of days I haven't even traded. I've just, on those days, typically what I do is just look for a stock like Tesla or something that I think is in a big dip, and I'll just buy a few shares for a swing trade and just swing it overnight or swing it for a couple of days if there's no momentum moves really happening. A lot of times the best move in that scenario is just to do nothing at all, but I'm a degenerate, so I get bored if I don't trade at all, so I'll just buy a few shares of Tesla or something and swing trade it, either the long or the short side or something like that. But yeah, you're totally right, Mr. X. There's definitely been a lot of days it's been super slow. Typically, it does slow down in the summer. Historically, like the momentum world slows down a bit in the summer, but it's not even really summer yet, so I don't know. It's kind of odd. I know what we can talk about. Is anybody in here do anything with crypto? And if so, how about SafeMoon? Does anybody have SafeMoon or know anything about SafeMoon? Heard about it? Bought any of it? Anybody know anything about the old SafeMoon? I think that's an interesting topic. I just recently heard about it the other day, and so I've been kind of looking into it a little bit, and then I bought a little bit of it the other day, which was a giant pain in the ass, by the way. For me anyway. As somebody who's not like an avid crypto guy, I don't know a lot about cryptos and altcoins and all that stuff. So, yeah, it was a pain in the behind for me to buy it. You have to like go through. There's only one way to buy it, and that's through. Well, there's two: Pancake and then some other exchange. So anyway, it's a process, but I did buy it because it's all the rage right now. That people are saying it's going to be the next Dogecoin, so that's why I just bought a couple $100 of it. Nothing exciting, but I thought, hey, why not? Maybe if it goes to the moon, safe moon goes to the moon, maybe I'll make a few $1,000 with it or something. The idea behind it, by the way, if anybody's interested, it's I'll actually bring it up real quick. I think it's kind of interesting. That's why I will. Hold on one second. Let me bring it over here. So, there. Safe Moon. And what it is it's I guess it's an exchange, or it's gonna be an exchange, but it's a crypto or an altcoin or whatever you call it. But the idea behind it is they charge 10% tax. This is why I think it's interesting anyway. They charge 10% tax when you buy it or sell it. And the idea behind that is to get people to hold it long term. So that's why it's almost like a pyramid scheme, but it's not a pyramid scheme. So, I mean, it really isn't, but it is kind of set up that way where every time you buy it or sell it, you pay a 10% tax, which encourages people to hold it instead of trading it or buying it and selling it. And then what it also does is 5% of the 10% tax gets distributed to the people that are holding it. So that's why it's kind of like a pyramid scheme in a way, because they're charging 10% tax every time somebody buys and sells it, and 5% of that, half of that, is getting divvied up amongst the people that are holding it. So it's just one of those things that seems kind of new, and like it hasn't really been done with an altcoin or a crypto, and it's super cheap, and just in its early stages. It's only been around for like a month, and it's kind of an odd thing that I read about, and I thought, I could see that maybe being the next meme coin, the next Dogecoin thing, where Safe Moon, so especially with that concept that encourages people to hold it instead of selling it. So I thought it was cool. It's a pain in the ass to get it, but once there, that's another reason I bought it too, just a little bit of it too. It was because as of now, it's really difficult. I think it's difficult anyway, to get it, because you got to jump through some different hoops, like go convert your money to Bitcoin on Coinbase, and then move it from there to Binance Coin, BNB, and then from there to Pancake exchange. So it's a lot of hoops to jump through, and accounts and things that you have to set up to do it. But then they're working on trying to get it available on Binance and Coinbase and some of the big major exchanges. So my thinking was, right now it's hard to get it, and most people won't go through the trouble of doing that. But when it hits Binance or one of the big exchanges, in theory, it will become really easy to buy, and maybe then it'll jump way up. That's my theory anyway. So there you have it. Hot off the presses. fake platforms. Yeah, that could be too. That's why I didn't put very much money into it. I only have I put a couple $100 into it, but I may put as much as, I don't know, 1,000 in it or something. Maybe a couple thousand tops. Definitely not enough that it would be devastating if it, poof, went into thin air. Kind of like BitConnect. That was a scam. That was a pyramid scam. People lost all their money on that. I don't know if you guys can even see me because I'm getting this stupid message on YouTube that it's buffering and they can't, yeah, viewers cannot see me, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if you can see me or not, but anyway, I didn't call it, but I read about NFTs right before NFTs got huge, non-fungible tokens, and I told my little brother, "Hey, you need to invest in NFTs because I think they're going to be huge." And that's another road that I won't go down. Why I think it's going to be huge in the future, but anyway, so he bought Mana, which is an NFT. And stands for, it represents Decentraland, but it's an NFT. But anyway, he bought it when I told him to, and it was at 20 cents or 25 cents or something, and it went to $1.36 or $1.60 or something like that. So he made thousands and thousands of dollars on a relatively small investment on that. So I'm hoping that Safe Moon will be the next thing like that. It's freezing a lot. Stupid thing. Sorry. Maybe it's hinting I need to get off of here. I've been on here for almost an hour and a half. And really, I didn't have a whole lot to say. I just wanted to check in with my people and see how you guys were doing. Need to make some new videos. Need to come up with some new ideas. I'm going to start brainstorming and try to come up with some new ideas and things to, some good videos that will help people out. I've kind of ran out of ideas, so now I need to start researching and trying to find what people might want to see. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments or shoot me an email or whatever. I only got 3 concurrent viewers now. I'm guessing it's because it's glitching and being a piece of junk. So I'm going to get off of here. Thank you all so much for joining and chatting with me. I appreciate it. I missed you guys and gals, and I will see you all soon. I'm gonna get on here more often and not neglect my channel for as long. I'll just got to come up with some good ideas for some videos. So, and if not, then I'll just do some more live streams or maybe live during the actual market hours and do some live trading. I've been hesitant to do that because I struggle to stay profitable as it is without the added pressure of everybody watching me and me trying to explain in real time what I'm doing and talking while I'm trading. But I think I'm gonna maybe explore that a little bit, see how it goes, and if people like it, I might do it more. So, coming to a theater near you, I will do a little bit of live trading here and there in the coming days and weeks, and see how that goes. You guys can watch me lose money, maybe. Yes, the scanner. Promote the scanner. You're right. I need to do that. I've actually had a whole bunch of people click on my link for that. I love that scanner, by the way, and I have that in the description of this video and all my recent videos that I did. And I've had a lot of people click on it, but nobody's ever bought the because it's actually an affiliate link, the one that I put in there, but nobody's ever bought the upgrade because the bottom line is the scanner is just good enough for free that you don't need the upgrade. Surprised they didn't figure that out, that hey, we made our scanner too good for free. People don't need to buy anything from us or pay for the upgrade, because the scanner's good enough as it is for free. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining and chatting with me. You guys are awesome. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great, fantastic evening. Make tons of money tomorrow and every day. And then I'll try to do the same, and we can meet up and buy Lamborghinis together, in the next month or so. Anyway, thanks for joining me, putting up with my corny jokes and whatnot. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace out.